50 seconds of Sony and Marvel logos that are only my second favorite combo of S&M. Is it too much to ask to include begrudging to this title card? I mean, even Deadpool couldn't make that happen, but it's a perfect joke.
0.4 by 103.
Ah yes, like all professional astronauts that are caught in precarious situations, the immediate compulsion is to curse and scream. I don't care how dangerous the symbiote is, astronauts are fucking unflappable, man. Would it not be easier for someone to just carry the symbiote case down the ladder that's right fucking there? And I'm assuming the case can be handled since it was picked up and put in the pulley.
That's Jameson.
Pause for 2 seconds so all comic book stands can gasp. Oh shit, that poor bastard must have just seen a bird box demon, or ghost, alien, are those things anyway? Also, evil killer wakes up and is able to gather their bearings while helpful medical worker is turned away cliché. In case you confused it with San Francisco Big Hero 6.
Coffee.
You were perfect.
And also way too f***ing talented to be in this movie. I mean, there's really no time that San Francisco's this open, but this is the beginning of the day, right? And zero goddamn traffic?
It's on the ground today in the Mission District chasing a lead into
Everybody
some
knows that
unexpected
Silicon Valley
places.
overlords.
Montage exposition. Hey man, that's my favorite position.
Eddie, the bike.
MIT. Woo!
Holy shit. In the last 50 seconds or so, we've firmly established Eddie as a gadfly, malcontent social justice warrior that eschews the rule of law for convenience, and yet has an affection for the little man, and that's way too much to cram into 50 seconds.
You know what I love about this view? It never gets old.
Yeah, because all those f***ing millennials keep disrupting tech services, launching startups, and driving all the older residents that can no longer feasibly afford the house in which they spent their entire life due to rising. He meant the view of the bay. Carry on.
You're just gonna ask him about his space program, you're gonna thank him, and you're gonna bid him a nice day.
Damn, did Jack not see that 50-second montage about Eddie's previous reporting? Seriously, I assume there are other employees at this news organization that are less known for exposing corruption as their sole purpose in the company.
Maybe you were run out of New York.
Well, I still have currency in New York.
Don't be fooled by the hog that he bought. He's still at it from the Brock.
I was going places. I wasn't running, I was going places.
Flirtation's position? It's like my 5th favorite position. Black Valentine. Wait, the screensaver's still on? But they've already had sex and had time to fall asleep. Are we really supposed to be rooting for a guy that only lasts that long? Also, I don't know if there's a laptop out there that shows the relevant bulk of a confidential email while it's on the screensaver, which would be easy to identify to any passerby. But if there is, and if you own one of them, viewer, shame. I'm not a lawyer, but there's not a chance in hell a law firm with an account this big would be emailing confidential reports. Emails can be hacked, nosy boyfriends can open them up, etc. This would be passed around in a private boardroom meeting and collected afterward before anyone left that f***ing room. Wow, not only is all the information about Drake's failed clinical trial available in the exact same document, it just happens to come across Anne's computer the night before Eddie interviews him. I bet it's the subtle nuances like this that made the movie a critical darling.
Mr. Drake?
It's okay, don't silence her.
Man, anyone that's trying this hard to prove how woke they are should immediately be suspected of covering up a conspiracy to import alien technology for capital gains.
They try and silence those of us who ask questions, but you know what? In the end, we're the ones who change the world.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
24. That's still extremely young, right? You create the Life Foundation.
Is it a rule that Tom Hardy only overacts in superhero movies? Because I'm noticing a trend here.
I have a hunch.
We don't go off half-cocked based on a hunch.
But Half-Cock Brock is a perfect title for his new show. Also, Brock has to know all this shit. As dumb and uncaring as the movie makes Brock out to be, going after Drake the way he did is not a fitting character trait based on what the rest of this movie shows us. And it's the foundation this whole f***ing movie is built on. That's at least 10 sins worth of bullshit. Movies, where no matter how long you're employed by an organization, the contents of your workspace will fit neatly into exactly one cardboard box.
What you did got me fired. You used me.
Wow, that escalated quickly. He's wearing the same clothes, so this is the same day as the interview. And even though Drake has an ass ton of power, the firm's going to immediately assume Eddie got the info from Anne and fire her on the spot? This is a f***ing law firm, man. They should know that it's not kosher.
You're beautiful.
Is there really no concern that this is only 3 of the 4 highly unstable symbiotes, and that one of them is just traipsing the f*** around Malaysia right now? Big riot in Little Malaysia. Tough guys gotta be tough, but they saw what just happened, right? Her arm changed into a medieval sword-looking thing and decapitated a dude. These guys brought a knife to a symbiote fight. Seriously? 6 months? Nothing related to this story occurred for 6 months. I mean, even if the symbiote was outside the US, there would have to be some reporting on its tomfoolery, right? Like, even the incident in the Malaysian village didn't get press, even though it was right by the spaceship crash site?
Begin human trials.
Oh, it's way too soon to even begin to think
Dr.
about
Skirth,
something
you're at
like...
the forefront of a scientific breakthrough. I need you to hold your nerve.
I like Riz Ahmed a lot, but explain to me how this character is any different from Darren Cross in Ant-Man, or Norman Osborn in Spider-Man, or f***ing Ajax in Deadpool. Just because you have a likable actor doesn't mean you can repeat the exact same formula on every villain, Marvel.
Aren't you Eddie Brock?
I used to be.
God damn, this shit is so cliche, you could legitimately convince me that I'm watching a scene from the later parts of Anchorman. I'm expressing my inner anguish through the majesty of song!
The Life Foundation Foundation has now begun preparation.
As is policy in hipster bars across the country, this TV is turned up to full volume during an interview with a tech CEO.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, you're welcome.
Not content to make the villain as rote as possible, movie imbues this supposed anti-hero with a ton of compassion for the less fortunate, and I could not be more Even if this asshole doesn't perceive Eddie as a threat, he did see him when he walked into the store. And, you know, they do have cell phones in this universe, right? Also, why didn't he perceive Eddie as a threat? Despite being told by movie he's ultimately a weakling, he also looks a lot like Tom Hardy.
Not even asking to staff there. Why would I do that? I can't use my name. I can use a pseudonym.
It's pretty late though, right? Like, definitely nighttime when we established that Eddie was at the bar, and then he hung with his homeless pal and picked up a sandwich at the convenience store. So why is he calling for job interviews now? I don't care what fake-ass neighborhood this is, it's still San Francisco. And an apartment this big would set you back at least $7,500 a month. Huh, I guess Eddie doesn't want to Brock.
This is day one. This is first contact.
Actually, it's 6 months after the symbiotes were collected, so it's more like day 186, but semantics.
What do you see? War, poverty, a planet on the brink of collapse.
We interrupt this Venom movie to briefly bring you footage from First Reformed. I mean, this is good CGI, right? But it's also terrible, right? Man, I haven't seen a Drake attempt fail this hard since Thank Me Later. Also, once that thing gets out of the tube, how the hell do they get it back in without someone going into the room?
You have to know how to disappear. I was pretty good, but, you.
This may have been an essential part of Eddie's former job, but all we've seen from the montage and the Gotcha Drake interview is that Eddie's a wrecking ball, not a scalpel. So this is definitely the Venom calling the kettle black.
You need to find yourself another white knight with skirts.
I hear Aaron Eckhart's still available. Seriously, the hell has he done since the Dark Knight besides White Olympus has fallen down?
What are you doing here, Eddie?
I'm here because I miss you a lot.
Skibbity skip! Also, I'm all for establishing backstory and all, but is this movie ever gonna f***ing Venom? The closest we've gotten in the first third of the story is that poor Isaac bastard.
Overpopulation and climate change. These are two things that Drake cannot control.
Yeah, got it.
Is this the first time these two are talking about this? Because they had a phone conversation, met up to plan the subterfuge, and had to drive out to the facility, which were all chances to catch up on the expository dialogue.
Onboard computers indicated the presence of life.
I mean, this is a very tech-forward building, right? Is there really no concern that this conversation is being taped via video and or audio?
We call them symbiotes.
Symbiotes?
Well, we did call them symbiotes as of the first trailer, but it bugged the shit out of people, so we did this totally obvious ADR to cover it up. Got it? Could Dora have just taken all these pictures and sent them to Eddie and given an interview? I'm honestly not sure I understand why he needed to witness the atrocity firsthand, and there's a lot less chance of anyone getting caught before the story goes public.
Maria?
I'm not making light of the fact that San Francisco has a severe homelessness problem, but I am calling bullshit on the one homeless person that Eddie knows personally is currently in the cell. You're it! Also, the alarms have been going off for quite a while, with zero response from security. I guess they're cool with the potential breach of a dangerous alien parasite. Remember that one that's loose in Malaysia? Yeah, good times. Also, even if security's not there, where the f*** did Dr. Slate go? She was only supposed to distract that guard for a couple of seconds, right? Do the garage guards not have a car? Are they just expected to run from their posts every time there's an issue? That doesn't seem efficient at all. So this is just like the indoor speeder chase in Return of the Jedi, except not good.
Where the hell he go?
What? All those guys were running toward him and the two cars were driving to him and not one person saw or heard him climb all the f***ing way up this tree?
This is Dora.
Holy movie just yada-yada'd how Eddie escaped from that predicament. How long was he in the tree? Did security really give up? Isn't the lab on an island? If so, how'd he get off? Jesus, this movie actually would have been good if it tried like 22% harder.
You're fired.
But we won't have any investigation of Dr. Dora, even though we can easily and immediately determine that she let the intruder into the lab because she was super good in that movie about a little girl that was good at math. What the f***? It's been 6 goddamn months since all this went down, but this woman has just been wandering the countryside eating people and no one noticed? Wait, Dora knows that the symbiote escaped and that Eddie was at least tangentially affected considering his method of escape. So why does she respond that she's okay? F***ing scientists, always making it about themselves. The movie can speedbag my ass, but you can tell that Tom Hardy's going for it. And this scene alone deserves a send-off.
Go home, get some rest. I'll call you when your tests are in.
Yeah, but Eddie just straight up crashed a fancy lunch spot, assaulted some fools, vandalized the place, then ate a live lobster. And there are no legal repercussions to this? Man, I've seen movies revel in their locations, but I don't think I've ever seen one that San Francisco is harder than this.
You have a parasite. They're not exactly sure how you got it.
Man, this hospital's wicked cool. They even let ex-girlfriends who are attorneys reveal sensitive medical information to the patient.
Never gonna happen.
Stop doing that.
Did anyone explain how the symbiote knows English while talking to Eddie? I mean, the host from Malaysia wasn't speaking Malaysianese, right?
But I need you to tell me who is here with you.
I can't do that.
Nor can the security system in this f***ing lab, which must be from the 1920s. Seriously, there was camera footage of Bucky killing Howard Stark, but nothing caught Bane and Harley Quinn last night?
Open it.
Movie totally wastes Jenny Slate, and that is definitely a sin.
Eddie, where's the bug?
This scene is total manufactured bullshit. Even Drake acknowledged that whoever broke into the lab had been infected, so they know exactly where the bug is. And if that's the case, why didn't they just immediately trank his ass like Dan did back at the restaurant? The original tagline for this movie.
Mr. Drake, our subject is carrying the symbiote.
Man, everyone is super casual about the symbiote being loose. Seriously, this guy sounds as excited as a dude calling his wife after picking up some milk of magnesia at the drugstore.
He's achieved symbiosis. Are you seeing this?
Yes, we are, and while we'll never know how or why, we know it's convenient as that the guy whose life he destroyed 6 months ago is the first person who has perfectly been compatible with the symbiote. And he sees this reflection how exactly? Is this a power, or just a lazy scriptwriting device to show us Venom for the first time? I lean toward the latter, and wow, what a lame way to show us Venom for the first time. I get that Drake is a rich and powerful guy, but he can't get away with launching militarized drones on a crowded public street, can he? Also, at this point, several drones have exploded on the streets of San Francisco, so why are all these cars continuing to car?
Treese, do not let him get away.
Thank God Drake says this, because the first time,
Treese, bring me back my creature.
and the second time,
Do not let him get away. Do you understand me, Treese?
clearly didn't take. Look, there have been some scenes with some decent CGI in this movie, but this is not one of those scenes. Oh no, Eddie's trapped in the middle of two bad guys drive evil black SUVs cliches.
Eyes, lungs, pancreas. So many snacks, so little time.
Apparently, when the full Venom is unleashed, so too is a weird accent that wasn't at all there in Eddie's head. I mean, at this point, you're just wasting ammunition, right?
I am Venom, and you are mine.
Roll symbiotes.
Cooperate, and you might just survive. That is the deal.
Jesus, that's the deal? Sounds as reasonable as Mexico will pay for it.
I got Eddie's labs back, and it's worse than I thought.
So I figured I'd call you and discuss it, rather than wait until I got a hold of the guy with the actual medical issue. Anyway, up for sushi tonight?
It is peaceful up here.
Surprisingly so, considering you just noisily scaled one of the most famous skyscrapers in the city by tearing at its facade.
He's in the rafters!
I know we need an action sequence here and all, but who the f*** are these assholes? Are they SWAT? If so, who called them? If they're Drake's men, how the f*** did they know he was here? My point is, movie clearly started with how this scene, without thinking about why this scene. Gene Simmons, eat your tongue out. I mean, lick your heart out. Wait. What? And he not only picks this place to look for Eddie, even though he hasn't worked here for over 6 months. There's also no perimeter set up by the police to keep her out. God damn, this movie's aggressively dumb.
Hospital! Right now!
Sure, don't worry about these brave men in uniform, some of which are gravely injured right now. I mean, don't even call that in. But how? And why isn't everyone on top of them right now, like they were a few minutes ago?
Hello?
As I watch Suddenly Alone Drake meet up with a little girl that somehow made it into this secure lab without anyone noticing, it occurs to me that this scene seriously feels like it's from a completely different movie. Honestly, I had to check to make sure I didn't have a different disc in there for a second.
No, don't do that.
Wait, how is Eddie still alive, when every time any of the symbiotes have left a host, the host has died?
Look at you now, huh? Now you're dying too.
Ah yes, they've found the symbiote's natural enemy, a single glass pane sliding door.
You want to tell me what the hell's going on?
Sure. Do you want to maybe call someone about the obviously alien substance that's stuck in your MRI machine room?
I'm not insane. What's insane is the way humans choose to live today.
If Drake's infected and still alive, he's got everything he wants, right? So why even go into the expository villain mode? Just head out to space, man.
Where is my symbiote?
I have no idea.
I don't know, but I guess he's on a smoke break with whoever was supposed to properly mix this audio.
You know what you gonna do? You gonna walk me to death?
This is a great question, considering they've killed many people right there in the lab and had no problem disposing of the bodies. But in Eddie's case, they're gonna treat him like Paulie and Christopher treated the Russian on The Sopranos. This launch pad is hilariously close to a major metropolitan area. So why does Dryat kill his entire crew? I know he can pilot the spaceship on his own, but doesn't he want someone on the ground to help out with logistics? Like Pam? Pam was great at logistics until she was decapitated.
We won't let you destroy this world. You die.
Yay! A fight between two evenly matched creatures in which we have no clue how one can defeat the other. Also known as the Man of Steel scenario. And it must be a complete coincidence that this CGI fight occurs at night. Ah, good to see that accelerated alien species still ultimately settle things between each other with a little punching and kicking. Jesus, Anne sure does have this sound wave defense down pat. How did she even know where the sound doohickey was? And how to connect it to the loudspeakers? Oh, cool, now the humans are punching each other. That totally makes a difference in my investment in the outcome of... Sorry, what's gonna happen if the bad guy's bad? Aw, Venom's trying to George Clooney riot Sandra Bullock. This is a perfect place to put our Skyfall outtake, but it's so exactly Skyfall that instead I'm gonna award it 10 extra cents.
Yeah, I'm sorry about Venom.
Well, I appreciate it, but this is a little too late in the game for apologies, especially since I've sat through nearly the entire thing. Thankfully, Into the Spider-Verse saved us from this nonsense being Stan Lee's final movie cameo.
Payments due, Chen.
I mean, does this thug asshole wait for Eddie to walk in here before he holds Mrs. Chen over the coals?
You will be this armless, legless, faceless thing, won't you? Rolling down the street like a turd in the wind.
Yep, this line is what got the fanboys' boners raging. Do with that what you will. Okay, so did Venom eat the entirety of the thug? I understand swallowing a head, but not a whole body, right? Or is this like Wolfenstein, where the bodies just disappear after you kill them?
When I get out of here, and I will, there's gonna be
double skip!
Hey, Parker. Ooh, my spider sense is tingling.
Space, says the introduction to the Hitchhiker's Guide, is big. Really big.
Bunny!
Come on, touch it.
Huh?
Come on, you need human contact. Touch it.
I will not touch it.
Hello, kid.
For the record, would hit it.
No ticket.
So let me the f***ing house!
Maria. The most beautiful song I ever heard.
You have a brain tumor, Eddie. It's not a tumor.